Good day, viewers. Welcome back to Smart Study Kingdom, where learning is fun and success is the goal. Today, we're cracking the code on the Grade 4 Numeracy June 2025 past paper. That's right, we're going step by step, question by question, so you can understand what to do, why to do it, and how to get full marks. So grab your pencil, your notebook, and your thinking cap. Let's get smart. Andre wants to buy a remote control toy. Four of these toy options and their prices are given below. Use the information to answer questions 1 and 2. Let us examine the picture firstly. Now we're seeing four types of vehicles and their prices. The car is for $2,599. The bus is for $3,999. The van is for $2,090. Finally, the truck is for $3,599. Let us look at questions 1 and 2. Question 1 says, which toy's price is the highest in value? So we're looking for the largest or the highest number, as the question said. So looking in our options, we see that 3,999 would be the highest of the four. Question 2. Andre has 2,500 saved. Which toy can he buy with the money he has already saved? Now, if he has $2,500, he will only be able to buy a toy which has a price that is equal to or less than 2,500. So let us look at the prices again. So he will not be able to buy the car. He will not be able to buy the bus. He would be able to buy the van and definitely not the truck. So we're going to choose van, which is option C, for our answer. Let us continue. Look at the chocolate bar shown below. The chocolate bar has 12 pieces of chocolate. Use this information to answer question 3. Question 3 says, Jaden ate 3 pieces of chocolate from the chocolate bar. What fraction of the chocolate bar did he eat? So again, the question says that he ate 3 pieces and the chocolate has 12 pieces in all. So let us look at the options. Are we seeing 3 12s? No, we're not seeing 3 12s. So it means that we're going to have to reduce this fraction to its lowest form to find the final answer. Now, how do we reduce a fraction again? We see what can be used to divide the numerator that can also be used to divide the denominator. Now we're working with 3 and 12, so the number that we're going to use is 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So our fraction is now a quarter. Are we seeing quarter in the options? Yes, it is option C. Examine the location of 4 places in the community below. Use them to answer question 4. Let us look at the picture. We're seeing shops, a police station, a library, a park, and a stop sign. Question 4 says, which place is second from the stop sign? Now we're going to put a marker at the stop sign and then we're going to count from the stop sign. So the park is first from the stop sign and then there is the library in second place from the stop sign. So we're going to choose option A for question 4. Look at the number displayed on the calculator in image S below. Use it to answer questions 5 and 6. So in image S, we're seeing 1024 being displayed on the calculator. Question 5 says, what is the value of the digit 2 in the number displayed on the calculator in image S? So let us look at the options. We're seeing 2 ones, 2 thousands, 2 tens, and 2 hundreds. So let us look where the 2 is. The 4 is in the ones place, and then the 2 is in the tens place. So our answer is 2 tens. Look at the number now displayed on the calculator in image T below. An operation was used on the number displayed in image S to get the result in the number now displayed in image T. So now we're seeing image T, and the number is 1924. Let us see what question 6 says. Which of the following would result in the number now displayed on the calculator in image T? So let us remind ourselves what was on image S. So we are seeing 1024, and now the number is 1924. Let us look at the options. Option A says add 90 to 1024. Option B says add 900 to 1024. C says subtract 90 from 1024. And finally D says subtract 900 from 1024. Now we're going to eliminate the 2 options that said subtract because the number increased. So it means that something was added. So let us look at the 9 now to see what place it is in, to see if it is 90 or 900. So the 4 is in the ones place, 2 is in the tens place, and the 9 is in the hundreds place. And so the value of the 9 is 900. So we're going to choose option B, which says add 900 to 1024. Let us continue. Shelley is reading the book shown below. Use it to answer questions 7 and 8. Question 7 says, the introduction of the book is on page 7. Which page number comes just before this page? So we're looking for the page that comes just before page 7. And we know that 6 comes just before 7. Question 8. Shelley is almost halfway through the book. The book has 88 pages. Which page could she be reading now? So, if she is reading a book with 88 pages, halfway would be 44 pages, or the 44th page. Now, let us look at the options. Option A says page 22. Page 22 is not close to page 44, so let's eliminate that one. Let's look at B. B says page 43. Yes, that looks promising. It definitely could not be page 53. because that is past halfway, and then it could not be D because the book does not have so many pages. Let us continue. Ben laid out some cards as shown below. Use them to answer questions 9 and 10. So let us examine the cards. So we're seeing 6 of each type of card, and there are 4 different sets. So that would be 24 cards in all. Let's just look at the question. Question 9 says, which is a correct representation for the total number of cards shown? Option A says 4 tens and 2 ones. 4 tens and 2 ones would be 40 plus 2, and that would be equal to 42. B, 2 tens, which is 20, plus 4 ones equal 24. Okay, that looks like our answer. But let us continue. Option C says 12 tens, that would be 120, plus 12 ones, that would be 132. And then D, 24 tens, which would be 240, plus 0 ones, which is equal to 0, giving us 240. So the correct answer would be option B, 24. Question 10 says, to count the cards, Ben placed them into groups of 2. How many groups of 2 can he make with the cards shown below? So he has 24 cards in all, and he wants to split them into groups of 2. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. So he can make 12 groups of 2. The 6 faces of a regular die are given in the diagram below. Use this information to answer question 11. Question 11 says, Mark rolled the die 2 times. Each time Mark rolled the die, he got a different number. He added the 2 numbers together. Which number could be the total of the 2 numbers? So let us look at the options. Option A says 1. This could not be the correct answer because there is no 0 on the die. Option B says 2. Option B could not be the answer either because he threw 2 different numbers, and in order to get 2 he would have to throw 1 plus 1, and those are the same numbers. Option C is 11. Now what 2 numbers could he throw on the die to get 11? He would have to throw 5 and 6 to get 11. Does that mean meet the criteria that he said? So 2 throws and 2 different numbers. Yes, it does. And we know option D could not be the answer because in order to get 12 he would have to throw 6 and 6, and that would be the same number. So option C is the correct answer. Moving on. Miss Henry can buy pencils in different quantities as shown below. Use the information to answer question 12. So if she were to buy single pencils, she would get them at $10 for one. If she were to buy 6 pencils, she would get them at a price of $55 for the 6 pencils. And if she were to buy 12 pencils, she would get it at $90. So let us look at question 12. Miss Henry has $100 to buy pencils. What is the greatest number of pencils that she can buy? So if she were to use her $100 to buy single pencils costing $10, then she would be able to buy 10 pencils. If she bought the 6 pencils for $55, then she would be left with $45. With the $45, she could buy 4 more pencils, and so she would end up with 6 plus the additional 4 pencils, that would be 10. Now if she bought 12 pencils for $90, she would have $10 change left. And with the $10, she would be able to buy a single pencil. So 12 plus 1 would give her 13 pencils. So option A is the correct answer, 13 pencils. Look at the incomplete price list below for the fruits shown on the cart. Joel buys fruits every day. Use the list to answer question 13. So the price list says apple, $100 each. Mango, the price is unknown. Orange is for $100 each. And melon is for $200 per kg. Question 13 says, Joel bought the fruit shown below. He received $50 change from a $500 note. How much money did he pay for the mango? So he bought 2 apples, an orange, and a mango. So let's just write the prices. So for the 2 apples, he would pay $200 in all. For the orange, he would pay $100. And the price for the mango is unknown. So that would be $300 in all. Now, he received $50 change. So we're going to add the 50 to the $300 to get $350. Now we're going to take away the $350 from the $500 to find out how much he spent on the mango. 0 from 0 is 0. 5 cannot be taken from 0, so we're going to go to the next place and we're going to rename, and we're going to take over a group of 10. 5 from 10 is 5, and 3 from 4 is 1. So let's just examine the options. Option A says 50, option B says 100, option C says $150. So we're going to choose option C. Ray is taking all the boxes shown below to his car. Use the information to answer question 14. So here are the boxes. Let us see what question 14 says. Ray has made 3 trips to his car so far. For each trip, he has taken 4 boxes to his car. For his final trip, how many boxes will Ray take to his car? So, he made 3 trips so far, and each trip he takes 4 boxes. So let's just circle the boxes. This is the first trip, the second trip, and this would have been the third trip. So he has 2 boxes remaining, which is option A. Question 15. Sean and Brian have the same number of marbles. Sean put his marbles into groups of 3 and had none left over. Brian put his marbles into groups of 4 and had some left over. How many marbles could Brian have? Now let's just look at the options. Option A says 3, option B is 8, option C is 12, and option D is 15. Now let's just look back at the question. So both boys have the same number of marbles. One was able to put his into groups of 3s and none was left over. So it means that the number is a multiple of 3. The other boy, he put his into groups of 4 and some was left over, or some were left over. So it means that the number is not a multiple of 4. So let us look back at the numbers. Option A is 3. Yes, it is a multiple of 3, but 3 cannot be shared into groups of 4. So we're going to eliminate that one. Option B, 8 is not a multiple of 3, but it is a multiple of 4. So we're going to eliminate that one as well. Option C is 12. 12 is a multiple of 3, but it is also a multiple of 4. So we're going to eliminate 12 as well. So the answer is D, 15. The mass of a pineapple, some bananas, and the soursop are given below. Use this information to answer question 16. So the pineapple is for 900, or it has 900 grams, banana 600 grams, and the soursop is 700 grams. Question 16 says, what could be said about the mass of the soursop? The soursop, A, has the same mass as the mass of the pineapple. Is that true? No. The soursop is lighter than the bananas. No. The soursop is heavier than the pineapple. No. The soursop is heavier than the bananas. Yes, it is. Examine the actual departure and arrival times of a bus traveling from Kingston to Montego Bay below. The bus makes a stop in Ocho Rios and then continues to Montego Bay. Use the information to answer questions 17 and 18. So we're seeing the route, the departure time, and the arrival time. So from Kingston to Ocho Rios, the bus departed at 9 a.m. and it got to its location at 11:30 a.m. The bus from Ocho Rios to Montego Bay, it leaves at 12 noon and it arrives at 2 p.m. So let us look at questions 17 and 18. Question 17 says, what time does the bus arrive in Montego Bay? So, from Ocho Rios to Montego Bay, the bus left at 12 noon and it arrived at 2 p.m. So the arrival time in Montego Bay is 2 p.m. Question 18 says, where is the bus likely to be at 12:40 a.m.? So let us look at the table again. So 11:40, we're going to write it right here, 11:40 a.m. So the bus left from Kingston to Ocho Rios at 9 a.m. and got there at 11:30 a.m. Now it is scheduled to leave Ocho Rios at 12 noon. So at 11:40 a.m. the bus is still in Ocho Rios. So we're going to choose option A for the answer. Examine the picture of a school's football field below. Use it to answer question 19. Question 19 says, the school wants to know the amount of space covered by the football field. They know they need the length of the football field. Which of the following does the school also need? If they want to find the amount of space covered by the football field, they are trying to find the area of the football field. And if they are trying to find the area of the football field, they already have the length, so it means that they will need what? The width to find the area. So let us look at the options. Option A says the width of the goalpost. No. Option B says the width of the football field. Yes. Option C says the width of the circle on the football field. Definitely not. And option D says the width of the school. Not at all. So we're working with option B, which is the width of the football field. The diagram below shows a pair of paper scissors. Use it to answer question 20. Question 20 says, which of the following best represents the length of the paper scissors? Is it 10 kilometers, 10 meters, 10 millimeters, or 10 centimeters? Well, 10 kilometers would be too large. The same would be true of 10 meters. 10 millimeters would be too small for a paper scissors, so we're going to work with 10 centimeters for the scissors. Mr. Jackson will be camping in the tent shown below. The side and the front of the tent are labeled. Look at the tent carefully and then use it to answer question 21. So we're seeing the side of the tent, and this is the front. Question 21 says, which shape is not seen on the side or on the front of Mr. Jackson's tent? Option A says triangle. We're seeing a triangle. Option B says rectangle. Yes, we're seeing a rectangle. Yes, we're seeing square. So the shape that we're not seeing is a circle. Samantha is drawing a symmetrical house. She has completed one side of the house. When she completes the drawing, she will be able to fold along the blue line and see the same shape matched exactly onto the other side. Use the house and this information to answer question 22. Question 22 says, which of the following represents the completed drawing of the other side of the house. So let us take note of the fact that it says other side of the house. So if it shows the same side of the house, we're going to eliminate that answer. So we're going to eliminate option A, which is showing the same side of the house. So let us look at the other options. So we're seeing option B. Option B is the other side of the house. Now it's showing half of the door and it's showing the other window, the reflection of the other window. So option B looks correct, but let us look at option C as well. Option C is showing the other side of the house, but it is not showing the other side of the door. Option D, we're seeing the other side of the door, but notice that the window is missing, so it is not a reflection of the image. Let us continue. The diagram below shows the path Lee walked from school to home. Use it to answer questions 23 and 24. So we're seeing school, church, park, and home. And if you notice the key, it's showing that from the dot, then there's a line, then there's another dot. That is showing the path that he takes, and then we're shown where the corners are. So let's just look at question 23. How many corners are there in the path taken by Lee from school to home? So let us count the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners. So we're going to choose option C. Question 24 says, which place along Lee's walk from school to home has no straight sides? So we're looking for the shape with no straight sides. Not the school, not the church, definitely the park, which is a circle. So option A, the park, is the correct answer for 24. 25 says, Sheldon's midterm break started on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Good Friday. Which of the following is certain? Option A says today is Thursday. Option B says Sheldon will return to school on Wednesday. Option C says Sheldon's midterm break will last for 2 days. And option D says it will rain on Good Friday. Now there is no way we can be certain it will rain on Good Friday. Nothing in the question says that his midterm break will last for 2 days, nor did the question mention him returning to school on Wednesday. So the only thing is certain, if his midterm break started on Wednesday and tomorrow is Good Friday, that means that today is Thursday. The diagram below shows a balanced scale with equal weight on each side. Use it to answer question 26. So on the left side, we're seeing an unknown weight and we're seeing 20 along with it. And on the other side, the right side, we're seeing 3 weights with 20 each. Question 26 says, which number is represented by n on the balanced scale? So let us figure it out. So this side, the right side, is equal to 60 because 20 times 3 is 60, or 20 plus 20 plus 20 gives us 60. On the left side, we're seeing 20 and the unknown weight. So we're going to take away the weight that we know to figure out what the unknown is. So we're going to subtract 20 from 60, and we're going to be left with 40. So n represents 40. Let us continue. The picture below shows a bag of sweets that Talia has. T represents the number of sweets that Talia has. Use this information to answer question 27. Question 27 says, Talia gave 3 sweets to Nicole. Which of the following represents the number of sweets that Talia now have? Or has, it should be has. So, Talia has a bag of sweets and she gave away 3. So it means that the number of sweets that she had was reduced by 3. So the expression that is showing how much she had initially and then she gave away 3 is option D, T subtract 3. Susan's timetable is shown below. Use it to answer questions 28 to 30. So we're seeing a timetable, 5 days of the week, and the different times for each subject. Let us look at question 28. Which subjects does Susan have twice per week? Which subjects does Susan have twice per week? So let us look at the subjects that she has or have twice per week. So how many times are we seeing language arts? 1, 2, 3. So we're going to eliminate the answers with language arts. So it is not A and it is not D. Let us go again. So we're not seeing any with math. So let us go to social studies. Social studies 1 time. Social studies would be 1 time for the week. So we're going to eliminate the option with social studies. Now let us check the final answer for accuracy, science and reading. So science is 1, 2, and then reading is 1, 2 times for the week. So the subjects are science and reading. Question 29 says, on which day does Susan have science after lunch? So we're looking for a science after lunch. Science after lunch would be on Thursday. So we're going to choose C. And the final question, how many subjects does Susan have on her timetable? So let us go back to the timetable. Let us look at the subjects. So language arts, we're going to cross out all the language arts first. Language arts. We're going to go to math next. Cross out all the math. Social studies. Music. Reading. PE. Science. And The only one left is art. So let us add up the subjects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subjects in all. So we're going to choose B for 8 subjects. And just like that, Smart Stars, you've reached the end of our Numeracy June 2025 Past Paper walkthrough. Remember, it's not just about getting the answer, it's about understanding the strategy. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's getting ready too. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep shining.